Hello, my name is Grady Breen. I'm quarterbacks coach here at South Carroll High School in Sykesville, Maryland, and I'm going to go over today two things on the board that I think are important for all young quarterbacks to understand, grasp, and practice. Okay, first I'm going to talk about reading the triangle. When I say reading the triangle, I'm talking about coverage, keys, and reads from both a zone and man perspective that every young quarterback, no matter what level or age group they're in, can utilize and practice in order to see where they should throw the ball on any given play, okay? And why you need to diagram. I'm a big believer in the importance of diagramming, padding all your information, because I think you'll be able to see aspects of a play or aspects of what a defense might do to you that you wouldn't know without it. Okay, so when I talk about reading the triangle, okay, so when I talk about reading the triangle, I'm talking about this area of the field, okay? Basically from the outside linebacker out. And I talk about this area of the field because this is where we'll see the difference between our zone and man coverages. In between the tackles, this area of the field, depending on how many inside linebackers, say we'll go to, okay? Depending on the zone coverage, their zone drops or how they're acting, maybe even a blitz, won't be too different. The difference in zone and man coverages occurs outside the tackles, okay? So for starters, think of deep, curl hook, and flat. Some people may teach this as a cube. I prefer to teach this as a triangle, okay? So in most situations, say we've got two receivers out to one side, okay? We're going to have corner, we're going to have safety, okay? And then we'll have linebacker, okay? Now, evaluating this triangle and how it's manipulated will show young and developing quarterbacks, or really any quarterback ever, what coverage the defense is trying to do. For instance, okay, if it's a cover three, he'll go deep, he'll go deep, he'll go to the flat, and somebody else will fill in here, okay? It almost creates a little bit of a pizza shape because we've got two people deep and then one person in the flat, okay? The difference between 3 and 4 in coverage, like true cover 4 prevent stuff, will be how far to the middle of the field this safety goes, okay? If we see it as 2, okay, and again, to treat it in a similar fashion, okay, 2, linebacker, takes hook curl, corner goes to flat. Now it's almost inverted from where it was. Now it's a true triangle like that, okay? They're reading the triangle. So it's going to rotate on its axis a little differently than cover 3 would. Now, if it's man coverage, okay, not zone coverage, but man coverage, he's probably going to go, if it's single high, he's going to go to the middle of the field, and then rather than any rotation on their own, it's going to be related to movement of our players, okay? So that's what I talk about in terms of reading the triangle. Furthermore, I'm also a big believer in if-then statements, okay? If, then. So coming back to our original position, we have here, we have here. I want the quarterback to be able to see. Corner goes deep, linebacker goes flat, it's probably 3. Okay? Or, corner sits flat, linebacker goes hook curl, safety goes deep half, it's cover 2. I've found, and I argue, at the time being, that this is the quickest way for a quarterback to think. If this, then that. And I'll build on that shortly. Now, in terms of diagramming plays, okay? So we've talked about reading the triangle, the differences between zone and man coverage. Now what we want to talk about is why you need to diagram, okay? A long, long time ago, I was a very young quarterback that didn't really know what he was looking at, didn't really understand the position. Then, one off season, going into my junior year, I really started diagramming, and I've drastically changed as a player and a coach ever since. Okay? So, first and foremost, I like to believe that you can tell a lot about a man by what his ovals look like. And what I mean by that is, when he draws a play on paper, or a whiteboard, or in the sky, or in the sand, okay, if they're all different, I know that he doesn't do this a lot, which to me is a red flag because quarterbacks need to be thinking about what they're going to do. So first and foremost, how you draw a center, it's up to you. I draw it as a D. I think it goes easiest, but that's purely preference. Personally, when I diagram plays, every play is on the left hash. Okay? So say we are in some sort of 10 personnel look, a 2x2. Again, the boundary is going here. Coming back to our look. Maybe we go odd front. Okay. Make a little space here. Okay. Odd front, 3-4 against a 2x2, 10 personnel set. Now, when I draw a play, again, always on the left hash. Say we're going quick game. Okay. Little double slant combination with slant flat to the boundary. Simplistic play that you'll find in a lot of different places. Couple things that I want to think about. First and foremost, we know that the defense is not going to act static. So say we're going to draw it against 3, and we can identify it, draw it as 3. We say some boundary rotation, field safety here. That backside linebacker becomes the 4th rusher. Okay, he's going to the flat. He's dropping 3rd. He's dropping 3rd. They're going hook curl. Okay, we've talked about reading the triangle. Now we're going to incorporating it when we diagram plays. We know what it's going to look like, so now we know what players will be in conflict. Pass game is all about creating 2-on-1s for situations. So for instance, this corner is going to be bailing to the deep 3rd. Now we're really trying to stress this field side, okay, that field side flat player in a horizontal stretch. We can also tell, so he's kind of going to be playing monkey in the middle here. Hopefully he'll get sucked up a little bit on that inside slant, because if we don't, he might run into that hook, and then we'll deliver it here. So the second thing that I want to diagram is not only the coverages, but then where I might throw the ball. Okay? So if I throw it to the inside slant, he's got to stay skinny away from that hook player. It's got to be almost on that back shoulder, not quite that back shoulder, but that back armpit to keep him up and skinny. If I'm throwing to this outside player, I'm also going to go somewhere in between the center of the chest and the armpit as he comes flat. I don't want to throw it too far outside, but I want to make sure I'm reading his hips, and I use that double slash to denote where the ball's going to go. Okay? Same thing over here. Okay? If this player, if that boundary safety is rotating down into the flat for that cover 3 look, here is the horizontal stretch that we're reading right there. Okay? So if he's going to come flying in here, if I'm going to throw the out route, that flat, it's going to be here away from the rotation. I don't want to throw it into here. I do want to be able to lead him so he can turn and run. Okay? So I want to lead him to a situation where he can turn and run. If I throw that slant route, knowing that that safety is rotating, If I'm really early with my footwork, I'm going to call it a first window throw. Okay? If I'm a little late on it and get him to clear, I'm going to throw it right in there. Okay? Now, slants are a great example of how and why we should mark where we're going to throw the ball, even on our diagrams. Because if I mark this, knowing that flat player in cover 3 is there, that could lead to a situation where we're throwing a pick 6 the other way. I hope this has been helpful. I've certainly enjoyed it. If you have any questions, please hit me up on Twitter, as easiest at OpenCrossPlant. I can also be found by email at gwgreen@carrollk12.org. And if you have any other further questions, please let me know, as I'm always down to talk shop. Thank you, and have a wonderful day.